Percent change and relative error. A percent change expresses an amount of change as a percentage of the original amount. Now the formula for percent change is fairly simple. It's going to be the amount of increase or decrease and then you just divide it by the original amount. So you take whatever amount of increase or decrease and then divide it by what you started with. So let's do an example. A coat is on sale, which means it's a decrease, you're paying less on sale. The original price of the coat is $82. The sale price is $73.80. What is the discount expressed as percent change? So what we need to do first is find the amount of the increase or decrease. Well, we already decided it was a decrease because it's going from 82 down to 73.80. So what we're going to do is take 82, subtract off 73.8, and that's going to be our amount of increase, or decrease rather, and then we divide it by the original amount, which was 82. So that's the problem we're going to solve. 82 minus 73.8 is 8.2 divided by 82, which is going to be 0.10. And if we want to express it as a percent of change, that would be, move the decimal 2 spots, 10%. So it is discounted 10%. For this next one, a store buys an electric guitar for $295. The store then marks up that price of the guitar to $340. What is the markup expressed as a percent change? So this will be a percent increase. Alright, so we do the same thing. We're going to take the big minus the small and put it over the original and just note that it is an increase because it's markup. Markup means increase. Okay, so I'm going to take my amount of change, amount of increase, 340 minus 295, and I'm going to divide it by the original amount, which was 295. So you're going to get 45 on top over the 295, which you then type into the calculator to get a decimal answer, and we would get about 0.1525. So if we express that as a percent, move the decimal 2 spots, giving us a percent markup of about 15.25%. And that would be your final answer. The last few examples will deal with relative error. A relative error is the ratio of the absolute value of the difference of a measured or estimated value and the actual value being compared to the actual value. So what that means as our equation is we have the absolute value of the measured amount minus the actual amount, and then you divide it by the actual amount. Alright, so let's do an example. A decorator estimates a rectangular rug is 5 feet by 8 feet. The rug is actually 4 feet by 18. What is the percent error in the estimated areas? So the first thing I need to do is find both areas. So the estimate is 5 feet by 8 feet. So to find the area, I take 5 times 8, length times width. So the estimated area is 40 feet squared, and the actual, because it's 4 foot by 8 foot, so it's going to be 4 times 8, which is 32. So there's the actual and the estimate. So now I can take the absolute value of the measurement or the estimate, because those are the same thing, minus the actual. So I'm going to have 40 minus 32 over the actual amount, or the actual length, which is 32. So 40 minus 32 is 8, divided by 32. So that's going to give me 0.25, which we're going to express that as a percent error. So that means 25% error. So her guess was off by 25%. And for this last example, we think that the distance between your house and a friend's house is 5.5 miles. However, the actual distance is 4.75 miles. What is the percent error in your estimation? Okay, so we have to set it up. So we're going to do our estimate, which was 5.5, minus the actual amount, which was 4.75. I take the absolute value of that number and divide it by the actual amount, which is 4.75. Now, when we do the subtraction, we get the absolute value of 0.75 over 4.75, and then we can divide, because the absolute value of 0.75 is 0.75. So when we take 0.75 divided by 4.75, we're going to get 0.15789. Okay, so if we were to round that, we would round that to about 16%. So your estimate was about 16% off. So those are your notes over percent change and relative error. Go through the practice problems, make sure you can do these, and then you should be ready for your quiz over the material.